Hi everyone, so this is another design team project for ArtFulEra gallery. So last week's video was these two little mini letters and envelope. We used the template. I will put below the video to this or on the screen if I can remember how to do it. So I've decided, I don't know what I've done with it now. I made this little cover the other week. I was just using up scraps of little boxes and little bits of fabric that I got left, so I sat and done a few. I've got a few started. They're just like something for when I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyway, I know what I'm doing with this one. I'm going to make a little journal, and I'm going to make it using all my stuff that I'm making with the Regency era, however you want to pronounce it, from ArtFulEra gallery. Now, you can find below in the description box a link that will get you 40% off anything in their shop. Just use the link, it will automatically give you the 40% off at checkout. So yeah, so I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 videos a week. As you can see that these little things are going to fit in that journal perfect. It's probably going to be a little 2 signature journal, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make little things to put in it before I actually make the journal, which I don't normally do, but I am in this case. So I've got a few bits, I just printed this off, got a few bits from last week that I possibly use. I may print some more out, but what I'm going to do with this, excuse me, I'm going to make a little like fold out booklet to go inside the journal that's not made yet. So keep watching and see how I make this. So I've just started here by trimming off the white pieces around. I did print this at, I don't know if it was 75 or 85%. It was a JPEG. So I'm now kind of going back to the journal cover that I've got, because I want to make this obviously smaller in height and in width. So I'm doing it at, I think it worked out at 4.5 inches by 2.5 inches when folded, so 5 inches by 4.5, but I am allowing for my little pockets and my little flap at the top that I'm going to do. So here I'm just folding in at the top and the bottom, and we're going to cut that bit off at the top, the bottom, and that bit off at the top. I am taking a little slither from like the inside like fold area, so that when it's folded that it's not going to cause any bulk. Just a slither, like you would hardly notice. So here I'm just inking up around all the edges. Just doing the outside as well. You don't have to ink up, it's just, that's just a personal preference. So here I'm just going to glue just this one side, just there. And then here I'm just using a piece of coffee dyed paper. You can use any paper you like. Just deciding there whether I could fold it again, but no luck. So I'm just going to make like a little like notebook, tablet as it's called in other countries around the world. And then I'm just going to use that as my guide to cut a few other doubled over pages. So just trimming it off to size now. Would be a good idea to use lined paper. I didn't think of that at the time, but it was just the first sheet of paper that came to hand. Just inking up inside as well. So I'm lining that up because I'm going to stitch it. You don't have to stitch, you could like machine stitch a don't think I showed you that. I miraculously stitched that without, I might have missed a clip out, I don't know, but anyway, yeah, I stitched that little notebook in, and then after scrunching that up and inking it up, I cut it off so you didn't see any of it. And that's going to go on the front, I think. So there you can see that where I stitched it. So went looking for a piece of lace, which I found, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue like all around the edges here to attach that. I was trying to work out the right way around, but you know what, there wasn't really, not for me. And then I'm just using my pinking shears to go up the sides and then glue that piece on. I did then go and set that to one side and set something heavy on it so that it would take. And then that went a bit skew-whiffy, didn't it? So yeah, I set that to one side, and then I think I went on to next making a tag. So again, I was just measuring roughly to see what size the tag would be. So again, still using the paper that I used the little to make the little notebook. I'm just using that up because that was quite a bit of sheet to waste, and that's going to be my background piece for the tag. And then I'm cutting this little bit out to pop on the tag. So just trimming off all the little white bits and inking up around the edges. And here I brought out that lace again, or I trimmed it down a little bit. Sorry, I'm doing a voiceover, so I'm trying to remember. Just making some little corner tab looking things. Not tab, tag shape. And I'm just going to glue that onto some coffee dyed paper. Just using that card to smush it down, trimming all around. Then using another little piece of the lace. I only used a small piece after that. I thought, oh, too much lace. Not a big lover of lace. Little bits here and there, I don't mind. I love the look of the lace books, the lace journals, you know, fabric and lace, every single page, they're beautiful. But when I'm making journals, I just like to add a little bit here, a little bit there. So I added a little bit there, and then I'm just gluing this on. Then we're going to punch a hole, then we're going to stitch, then I'm going to see if it fits in the pocket. It does. Using a little bit of this linen thread, and just tying that in a little bow. Then I thought, okay, we need some other bits. What do? We're going to do a little bit of stamping with the other pieces that I've made, like in last week's design video for ArtFulEra. The two little pockets, well, one was an envelope, one was a pocket. I used this stamp set, so I'm gonna obviously continue using that. I'm kind of looking forward now to making this little journal with all these little elements that I'm making. So now I'm looking for a little piece of washi tape, and I found this. Couldn't find the end, so I don't think I've used this one before. So I'm just putting a little piece on the top of that flap, and then another bit on the bottom. Then I found these little words and ticket things. I can't remember who they're from, but I'm adding them on there. They're not from ArtFulEra. I'm just adding them on there for a little bit more decoration. And I thought I need something more on there, so I brought out this. It's like a very small flat back pearl trim, so I kept like a double layer of that because it's the one, like the one straight strip would be too, like, you would hardly notice it, so I decided to do two. And that super tacky glue is actually really good for things like that. It does take a little bit to dry. It's definitely not as good as Fabri-Tac or anything, but I really don't like the toxic smell of that stuff. It is good, but oh, it's disgusting. It's not good for you. Then I found this little label and I popped that on. That is pretty much it. That is my little design team project to go in my little journal. If you have any questions, just ask. Check out the 40% off discount link below, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.